Hi there, this is Shrikant. Today we will discuss on one of the main concept in Appian, which is known as cascading drop-down field values. For that, I have created two tables in my database. The first table is going to be my country list, which stores all the country lists. Right now, I have inserted three records, Canada, India, and USA, with primary key as 1, 2, 3, respectively. Similarly, I have created another table to store the city name. The first three cities are from USA. As you see here, the country code is 3, which is the foreign key from the country list table. Similarly, Toronto, Ottawa, and Waterloo is from the Canada country. Chennai, Mumbai, Bangalore is from India. Let's see how we can implement a cascading concept in Appian. The first step is to create CDT. For that, I will go to designer and click on the data type. I will create database table or view option, and I'm going to select JDBC Appian and I will search with my table, my country list. Click on OK, and I will default, I will keep all the configuration changes. That means it is going to create a data store and entity. And I'm going to click on create. Okay, this is done. Similarly, I'm going to create another CDT. This time I'm going to select a table as my city list table. I'll keep all default configuration as it is, so that system is going to create data store and entity table for me. Okay, it's almost there. Okay, so I'm done with the database changes. I'm done with the CDT and the data store. Next step is to create a constant for these two CDT. So for that, I am going to select constant and give the name as my country constant. Select the type as data store entity. Select the entity. Click on create. Repeat the same step for other entity as well. So again, I'm going to select the constant. I will give name as my city constant. Select the type as data store entity. Select all int customer address ds. This is my data store name. And finally, the entity, my city list. Click on create. So we are done with the DB changes, CDD changes, data store changes, and just now we finished constant creation. The next step is to create interface. I'm going to give name as AI city country, and I'm going to click on interface, select the interface. Oh, sorry, I have selected wrongly. I have selected report here. I'll cancel. Okay. I'll go back and create interface. So city, country, and click on create. Let's pull one of the drop down values here and go to, okay, we need two drop down, one for city and other one for country. Okay, go to expression mode and we'll make some changes. The first change, what I'm going to do is I will name this as country and this one as city. I will also define a local variable. I will define variables local selected country local selected city. These two variables I'm going to create, and now I need to make some changes in choice table. Delete the default configuration. Next step is to get the values from the database. For that, I will go back to my designer and I will create two expression. So two expression rule I'm going to create. This is to get country list. In this expression rule, I will connect to database and get all my country. So again, select from the data store entity. My country constant and just click on continue, generate query, and we will test. So all three countries are populated. Let's get only data. Again, we will test this. Yes, Canada, India, and USA has been populated correctly. And we will go back and we'll create one more expression rule, this time to get city list. Okay. Can click on query editor, select my city, sorry, I need to select data store entity, my city constant, Click on continue. Here, the one more changes that you need to make. Basically, we need to filter city based upon the country code. So for that, I'm going to add a filter country code, and I'm going to select rule input here. I will add a new rule input. This is going to be country code, and it is going to be number. Click on save, and from here you need to select input variable, and you have to configure the country code that you have created as part of the rule input. Click on generate query. Now we will test this expression rule. When you don't give anything, you will get all cities. Perfect. We are interested only in specific countries, cities, right? So for that, I will pass country code 1, and I will get only Canada city, Toronto, Ottawa, and Waterloo. If I pass country code 2, which is India, I should get Chennai, Mumbai, and Bangalore. This is what I have here. Similarly, for USA, when I pass country code as 3, I get all US cities, New York, Chicago, and Irvine. Save the changes for both of these rules. Again, go back to interface, and we will make some more changes here. Okay. So first thing is I'm going to create one more variable. This is for country list. In this country list, I'm going to call my expression rule, and get country list. Similarly, I'm going to create one more rule here. Basically, I'm calling the newly created rule here. So I'm going to give city list, and I will call another rule by using a refresh variable method. For that, refresh variable need 2 parameters. One is value. Here I'm going to call expression rule again. Rule AI get expecting get city list. Get city list. And it is, I need to pass country code here. I will pass the country code as selected country, local selected country. So whatever I'm going to select from the first drop-down box, the country code I'm going to capture, and I'm going to pass that to my second expression rule. And refresh variable requires one more parameter. Refresh change. I'm going to give that as true. Okay. Next, scroll all the way down to make a choice label and choice value changes for the first drop-down box. This is for my country. So what I'm going to do is I will use this variable choice label country list dot. I need to display the name, country name, and here I'm going to store the choice value as country list dot id. Basically, what I'm trying to do here is I'm storing the name as my display value. And actually I'm storing the ID. If what it means is, if the user selects Canada, I'm going to store ID as 1. If the user selects country as India, I'm going to store the value as 2. Similarly, for US, I'm going to store as 3. That's what I'm trying to do here. Next, what I'm going to do is I will use value as local dot selected country. This is what I have defined earlier. Country. This is the one, selected country, not the list. So I need to copy the same thing for save into. Okay, this part is done. Next, we have to repeat the same thing for city list. For that, what I'm going to do is I will copy this variable and I will give here choice label, again dot name comma, and choice value, again ID comma. So this also requires a value and a save into whatever the local variable that I have defined earlier, that I am going to configure here. Selected city. Same thing I'm going to do it to save into parameter. One more changes we have to make here. Whenever the country name is changed, we have to reset the value city list. For that, what I'm going to do is I will copy this value and I will add one more condition here, a save, and I will keep the city name as blank. Whenever there's a change in the country, I'm going to reset the city name. A couple of errors here, so I need to add a comma. That's it. Should be working now. We'll see. I'm going to select Canada. Toronto, Ottawa, and Waterloo has been populated correctly. Whenever I select India, all Indian cities are populated. Chennai, Mumbai, Bangalore. I should be able to select any of these cities from India. Whenever I select USA, all US states are populated in my drop-down values. New York, Aurora. Again, I can go back to Canada and city name will reset, and I'm going to get only the Canada cities. If you want to take a look here, the rule input and the local variables. So let's try to analyze here. Whenever I select Canada, I'm storing the selected country value as 1, and I should be able to load city list based upon the this code 1. That is why I'll see only the country code with the 1. You can see over here. These 3 records referring to 3 different cities, but belongs to the same country code, that is 1. In this case, 1 is nothing but Canada. When I change this value to India, I am passing country code as 2, and you will see again 3 records, and it is reading the value from the database, and one for Chennai, one for Mumbai, and one for Chennai, Mumbai, and one for Bangalore. If you add one more record here, let's try that. I'm going to city table for India. I'm going to insert one more record here. Name, I will go with Mangalore, and country code again Stu, and again I can give Panaji. Country code is number 2, and I'm going to click on save. Okay, let's go back to designer again and select some Canada. 3 cities are populated, and I select India. All 5 cities are populated: Chennai, Mumbai, Bangalore, and Panji. This seems to be somewhat dynamic. The moment whenever you add or update or delete any records from the database, immediately it is going to be retrieved to the interface. That way it's going to be dynamic. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for your time. You have a wonderful day. Bye.